Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Roku Developer Summit. My name is Gene Chorba, and I'm the Head of Developer Relations at Roku. First of all, thank you very much for attending this event and being part of the global Roku developer ecosystem. This has been another incredible year for us, with record levels of adoption, engagement, and viewership, and we are just getting started. For those of you attending for the first time, it's my pleasure to be the first to welcome you. And for those of you who have joined us in the past, welcome back. This summit is a moment each year where Roku as a whole gets together to celebrate developers, unveil new products, and provide guidance on development. We have a great event lined up for you over the next 2 days, but before we dive into it, I just want to start us off with some quick housekeeping notes to give you an idea of what you can expect. This year, we intentionally designed the summit to maximize developer participation so that you can get as many questions answered as possible. To that end, the bulk of the agenda is comprised of interactive panels and educational workshops. The panels in particular are intended to be highly interactive, driven almost entirely by audience participation. Think of these sessions as an all-access opportunity to ask Roku any and all questions that you have. Each of these panel sessions will begin with a small handful of slides to highlight recent updates or talk about best practices, and then we'll transition into a prolonged audience Q&A. In other words, these sessions have been almost completely allocated as audience Q&A. The workshop sessions will be a bit more structured, though. In these sessions, you'll be provided with step-by-step instructions on implementing various features or tools into your channels. These sessions also include time at the end for Q&A, though. However, before we get into panels and workshops, we have our keynote presentation. In today's keynote, we are going to cover a look back on the year, updates to product, and some brand new features launching today. And to kick us off, today we're announcing Roku Launchpad. Roku Launchpad is our new central hub for entering into the Roku ecosystem. It is where you find any and all information about various Roku developer and partner programs. In addition to our long-standing developer program, content partners can now learn more about how to distribute their content on the Roku channel. The Launchpad also includes information for television and audio hardware manufacturers interested in learning more about various OS licensing and certifications programs so their hardware can integrate seamlessly with the Roku OS. We are incredibly excited to unveil this and make it easier for you to find your path into the Roku OS. Now, some quick technical notes on participation throughout the next 2 days. First off, we'll be using a cool Slido to manage audience questions. So please feel free to submit your questions via Slido at any time. For those of you who haven't used Slido, it includes a feature that allows you to upvote questions, so we encourage you all to vote for the questions you'd most like us to see addressed. We want to ensure that we prioritize the questions with the broadest appeal. When we read a question aloud to the Roku panelists, we will also read the name of the audience member who has submitted it. If you submitted the question and would like to elaborate or follow up with the question, please use Zoom's built-in raise hand feature, and this will now enable a moderator calling you to mute so that you can discuss the question for the panelists directly. However, please be mindful the rest of the attendees in the session will also be able to hear you discuss this. We will display a QR code at the beginning and end of each session with a link to the page in Slido where you can submit your questions. In addition to the QR code, you can also access the code through the Huova agenda or in the Developer Summit Slack channel. Just be sure to submit your questions to the correct Slido room for each session. We will try our best to answer all questions submitted throughout the day, but for any that we can't address during the day, we will try and follow up with you offline. As a note, though, no Roku presenters will be commenting on any future-facing topics or making commitments that are going to be long-standing today. So please keep that in mind with any questions that you submit. Finally, we have set up a Roku Developer Summit Slack channel to facilitate interactions between all attendees. If you're not yet joined, please access the URL from the Huova landing page and join the Slack channel. You'll find dedicated channels for each of the sessions today, as well as a general channel for miscellaneous chatter. We know that audience interactions with each other have historically been among the more valuable aspects of the developer summits, so we encourage you all to share your thoughts, comments, tools, and resources in this Slack. So that includes all of my intro remarks, though I do want to take a quick second and say how much Roku values and appreciates every one of you. We are constantly striving to build a better developer and partner ecosystem, and your participation and feedback is invaluable in our just doing that. Now on to what you came here for. Please enjoy our keynote presentation, and I'll see you again during the panel and workshops in about an hour.
Hello, developers, and welcome to the 2022 Roku Developer Summit. I'm Ted Citadine, Vice President of Content Partnerships. And I wanted to kick us off, first and foremost, by thanking our developer partners. Some of you may be new to us this year. Some of you may have been with us since the beginning. Either way, we cannot do what we do without your help, so I wanted to first of all extend our very sincere thank you for a fantastic 2022 as we look ahead to 2023. So my goals today are a few simple goals. One, I wanted to discuss the scale of Roku. We know that you have very careful bets you need to place and why we believe we're the #1 platform for you to do that. Second, I wanted to discuss a few trends in the streaming business. There's a lot of talk about where streaming's going, and I wanted to give you a few insights of where we think the business is headed next year. And then finally, I wanted to discuss some of the features and functionality that's releasing in OS 11.5. We've listened to our developers, and we're excited about the direction where our OS is going this next year. So to start out, I wanted to give you a little bit of background about the Content Partnerships organization, because this is the organization that touches developers in a number of different ways. So we have the distribution teams that negotiate the agreements to bring channels onto the platform. We have the partner growth organization that works day in and day out to launch our partners' channels and to make them successful over time to help them generate revenue or audience or subscribers. Because without our partners being successful, we are not successful. So that's what that one team singular mission is. And then we have the technical teams of partner management, partner engineering, content product management, and of course, developer relations. And they work day in and day out with partners to build great channel experiences, to ensure that those channels conform to our technical requirements, and then to manage our 18,000 plus channel publishing platform on Roku. And then last but not least, content acquisition is part of content partnerships. So to the extent that our developers are licensing content on an advertising supported basis, Roku is interested in licensing that content, and that team works with networks and studios to license the great advertising supported content within the Roku channel. So that's what we are, and to kick us off, I know I sound a bit like a broken record, but I'm going to say it again, that we are still, and yet again, the #1 TV streaming platform out there. We have 63 million active accounts as of our last public filings. That's roughly a household. That was up 14% on a year-over-year basis. And our streaming hours, about 21 billion hours, that was actually up even more. So that means users on a per capita basis are streaming more this year than they were last year, which is a good thing for everyone. We are the #1 TV streaming OS in the United States, and we're the #1 TV streaming platform now in all of North America, in the US, Canada, and Mexico. Speaking of international, we are growing rapidly across the globe. So today we're available in 17 different countries up and down the Americas, plus the UK, France, and Germany. And we're seeing the same kind of success internationally that we have in the US. So again, we're the #1 streaming platform in all of North America. We have the #2 share of all of connected TVs in Brazil. We just launched that market a couple of years ago. #1 streaming OS in Mexico, #2 TV streaming share in Canada. Again, seeing success replicated as every country in our viewpoint will shift from traditional television to streaming. And then last, I wanted to end this section with just an overview on scale. And this comes from Conviva's most recent quarterly report. Because developers, you have to place your bets on the platform that will give you the best return on your investment using your very precious resources. And I think this is often where developers know us the best, and we often struggle with executives in the media business to know us as well as developers. But often when I discuss Roku Scale with media execs, they will say, that's great, but isn't Apple the #1 TV streaming platform on a global basis? And they'd be shocked to realize that Apple's only 5% of global connected TV device viewing time. Well, then they'll say, well, it's got to be Google. Well, Google is about 12%, followed by then Samsung or Fire TV. Well, they'll be shocked to realize that Roku is almost a third of global connected TV viewing time. We're bigger than our next 2 platform competitors combined. So we have the audience, we have the scale to make your developers' resources go further. So next, I wanted to talk about a few takeaways that we're seeing in the industry. There's a whole lot of conversation going on about where is streaming going? Is it flat? Is it down? Is it up? So here are a few key trends that we're keeping in mind as we go into 2023. So first is cord cutting, and this is a good phenomenon for everyone in the streaming business. In fact, there's a lot of talk in the press about the streaming wars, whether it's Netflix versus Disney versus Amazon. Well, in my view, the true streaming war is that of traditional television versus streaming. As you can see by this, streaming is clearly winning that war. So in Q2, we had a record number of cord-cutting subscribers for that quarter. Some analysts estimate that next year between 7 and 9% of total traditional television users in the US will cut the cord. And if you do some simple math of roughly 69 million or so US TV households, that could mean that anywhere from 4 to 6 million users are dropping out of television and into streaming. That is a collective opportunity for us all for growth next year. Second is the rate of growth of the subscription business. And this is true that business is starting to mature in the US, but it's not shrinking. In fact, on a quarter-over-quarter basis, and this is according to Antenna, it was actually up about 1.5%. That's a good thing. The other thing that I think is interesting is that growth is not being dominated by the incumbents, by Netflix or Hulu. That growth is being driven by new services. So still in this maturing environment, at least in the United States, there is growth to be had in the subscription business. And finally, a trend that we're certainly seeing over the last year or so are partners are getting much more deliberate about the marketing dollars that they spend. And they're looking to acquire consumers, but on a much more profitable basis than they were historically, where they're just spending for overall growth. So this I wanted to highlight again from Antenna are what net subscriber ads look like on all the major platforms. So you can see Roku is number 2 for net subscriber ads. And so gross subscribers really don't help anyone. If you're adding a sub, but that sub is churning off the platform, that's not value to anyone. You can see we're number 2 of all platforms for net subscriber ads this past quarter. Number 1 actually for all big screen devices. And then the other takeaway that I have on this is that we actually have the best ratio from gross ads to net ads, meaning we're converting the best of any of these platforms out there. And the reason why I think we're doing this is because we have industry-leading performance-based marketing tools directly on the Roku platform. So social media undoubtedly has great performance-based marketing tools as well, but it's often a challenge to migrate a user from mobile to Roku, where you're going to have the highest lifetime value. And that's why directly on our platform, we work with our partners day in and day out so they can set whatever metric they choose, whether it's a first-time viewer or total viewing time, to set a cost to acquisition at one level so that it can be outweighed by the overall lifetime value of that user. And we believe, again, that we're the best place in the industry to do that. So moving on, I wanted to discuss growth a little bit on the Roku platform because we are seeing varying levels of growth depending on business model. So as you can see, our number 1 business model on the platform today is pure AVOD. So these are channels like the Roku channel, YouTube, Pluto, and Tubi. They are growing the fastest of any category on Roku today. Second, followed closely by that, are subscription services, and these are services that are now adding advertising-supported tiers to lower price and to gain additional audience. And then there's a big gap, and significantly below that are virtual MVPDs and TV Everywhere services as users look to replicate less the traditional TV bundle on streaming and lean more into AVOD and subscription-based services. We think that's actually a very good thing, particularly on Roku when it comes to advertising. So the chart on the left is from Kagan, and this represents the percentage of users that are on advertising-supported tiers on these major services. So with the exception of HBO Max that was later into the advertising-supported business, nearly 2/3 to 3/4 of users, when given the choice to go ad-free versus pay less with ads, they're opting to pay less with advertising. And that, we believe, is a huge opportunity on Roku because the chart on the right from Antenna looks at the percentage of consumers that are opting to go to advertising-supported plans. So we are by far the highest in the industry. So the takeaway, at least for me, is if you're in their advertising business, which is the number 1 area of platform growth, which is where subscription services now like Disney and Netflix are launching services with ads, Roku is the place to be because not only do we have the global scale, but we also have the user base that is actively seeking out advertising-supported experiences. So finally, I wanted to end this section with the Roku channel. So the Roku channel has been phenomenally successful, and we believe that there are significant ways to partner with our developer partners for this. So just a couple of stats on the Roku channel. It reaches, at last public release, 80 million users on a worldwide basis. It's a top 5 channel on the platform today. It has over 100,000 AVOD series films supported, and again, on an advertising-supported basis, and now 300 FAST channels. And this is an area that we're very, very excited about going forward, and that if we break out just FAST within the Roku channel, we haven't released this publicly, but it would be one of the largest channels in its own right on our platform, so a significant area of growth. And this is where I think we have the opportunity with our developer partners, that if you have a FAST channel today, I would highly encourage you, if you're not already, to explore the Roku channel. Because we have good data to suggest that partners that have a FAST channel in their own direct-to-consumer app, but also make it available within the Roku channel, there is a very low degree of overlap between the audiences of those two different channels. And that way we're bringing increased audience, we're bringing incremental engagement, and incremental revenue to partners that have FAST channels in the Roku channel. So again, something to explore if you're not in this business already, because it's a significant area of growth on the Roku platform. And finally, I wanted to end with a few highlights of Roku OS 11.5, because this is where we have taken a significant amount of developer feedback into developing what we think are our best-in-class and certainly more to come on ways where consumers can engage directly with content on the Roku platform. So first of all, you'll see much more content integration in our home screen experiences. We've leaned into search, making that better from a voice perspective, and then finally expanded content discovery within our FAST channels, again, which is one of our fastest growing areas of our platform. So let me dig into a few of the features and functionalities that we're releasing now with 11.5. The first I wanted to highlight is Continue Watching. So Continue Watching allows the user to jump right back into the film or to the TV episode that user was previously watching on the platform. So we have good data to suggest that, one, this encourages more total engagement in streaming. Two, this also encourages repeat visits within the channel. And if you combine both of those, so more repeat visits, more total engagement, those are two leading indicators in reducing churn, and that is a good thing for both Roku and our developer partners. Second is the Buzz, and this was launched directly as feedback from our partners saying that they want more and better editorial or free areas to promote content within the Roku UX. And so for our partners that are out there posting social media marketing tactics on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, they can use those same marketing collateral and tactics and post directly onto the Roku channel. And again, much easier to get engagement directly on the platform where users are consuming than migrating them from mobile to Roku. So you can post, and within one click, the consumer can be off and watching that piece of content. We think it's a great way to market content directly on the platform for users. And finally, I mentioned live TV or FAST channels. This is, again, a very, very significantly growing part of our platform. We've made it much easier for users to navigate across our linear TV guide. Users can now favorite channels. We've grouped channels by content. We have recommended channels. So again, making it easier to navigate through those 300 channels and encourage repeat visits and much more engagement. And looking forward to that feature rolling out soon. So with that, I will pass it over to my colleagues. Again, I wanted to thank all of you for a fantastic 2022. Again, thanks for being with Roku. You've made us have an exceptional year, and looking forward to even more growth in 2023. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon. I'm Preston Smalley, and I lead our viewer product team. I started at Roku just a year ago, and I'm blown away by the team's focus on providing our customers with an easy experience that they can navigate on their own terms. I know that our experience is built upon the amazing content and software written by you, our developer community. So I'm thrilled to be with you today. With that said, I'd love to walk you through many of the updates designed with ease of use, choice, and value, rolling out to our users starting with OS 11.5 and continuing through the coming months. Before getting started, let's recap a few recent announcements to bring you up to speed on some items that I think are important. In Q2, Roku added 1.8 million incremental active accounts to reach 63 million. In terms of engagement, globally, our customers streamed 20.7 billion hours in Q2, an increase of 19% year over year. And Roku continues to be the #1 TV streaming platform in the US, Canada, and Mexico by hours streamed. Now, let's dive in. Starting with updates to Roku Voice and content discovery. With thousands of channels and live TV options for streamers, it's easy to get distracted when there's so much to choose from. At Roku, we know you just want to sit down and start streaming as fast as possible. And our latest updates across content discovery and Roku Voice do just that. So we've made Roku Voice even better with our new visual aid that appears on screen when necessary to help users get to the right content. This update will be especially useful when users are trying to access channels with multiple live TV options. For example, let's say you want to watch ABC News. There are a few options on the platform to choose from, including ABC's Video on Demand service, the ABC Live TV news station in the Roku channel, and local ABC news stations broadcast over the air. With this update, users will now see a display on their screen showing the channel options relevant to their voice search. From there, they can simply say what they want and start streaming. It's a great example of one of our team members using this feature with Roku Voice.
Hey Roku, ABC News.
Okay, which one do you want?
The second one.
With this update to Roku Voice, we're committed to helping streamers spend less time looking for what they want to watch and more time actually watching. This is just one example of the ease of use we provide to users on our platform. Next up, our mobile app. It's a go-to feature for consumers as a remote control for their nearby TV or player, whether they've lost the remote or just prefer to use the app on their phone. This year, we've invested in bringing the best of our content discovery features to the home screen of the mobile app. So for content included in search or what to watch, you'll see that now appear in the mobile app. From there, you can add it to your save list or send it to a nearby player or TV. We're also adding new visual features to the Roku search and entertainment discovery experience. At Roku, we want to make the browsing experience as simple as possible. And with these newest advancements to our movies and TV show details page, users will enjoy a new design that's more visual and more clear. It even includes one of my favorite features, a cast and crew section that will tell users which of their favorite actors are featured in the show or movie they're watching. Additionally, we've introduced visual search results for Roku Search that will change the way we present results to you. You'll see in the coming months and now, the users, as you search, will be able to see a visual display of relevant options to their search, making it faster and easier for users to find what you're looking for. Roku search results will also be categorized in rows, such as TV and movies, popular TV, or genre-based zones. We just spoke at length about the value of our products and the choices that we offer on how to discover and access your content. So now let's shift gears and talk about how we're making our Roku navigation easier than ever before. Over the past year, we've focused on making meaningful changes to our home screen to help customers get to the content they want quickly and easily. Most recently, through the launches of Live TV and What to Watch, as you can see here. With our recent fall announcements, we're making even more changes that continually put the consumer and their streaming experience first. We pride ourselves on constantly learning from our users and tailoring the home screen to provide more tools to access and discover the content on our platform. Later this year, we'll introduce the Roku Store, which will be a more visual, immersive destination for users to browse and search and add free and paid channels to their device. With the Roku Store, users will be able to navigate through different categories to easily find and shop for new streaming content, maybe from developers like you. And we'll continue to build that out over the coming months. Next, let's discuss our newest content discovery tool, the Buzz. Whether it's through word of mouth or scrolling through social media, streamers are constantly looking to find that next great binge-worthy show or hit movie. The Buzz brings this discovery to the biggest screen in the house by displaying entertainment-centric short-form content via browsable posts from a selection of top streaming services and brands across our platform. Giving users a quick easy way to discover entertainment within the Buzz may include video clips, images, trailers, streaming content from all kinds of channels, including Showtime, the CW, and others that we've listed here. Users can browse through and engage with a personalized stream of posts and discover what's new. Viewers can engage with content posted within the Buzz by liking posts, saving TV shows and movies they want to watch later, or by following channels to view more updates later. And most importantly, users can quickly start streaming movies or shows featured in a post within a few clicks of the remote, getting them directly into your app. The Buzz provides consumers with a one-stop shop to deliver, engage, and launch channels or content directly from a post. And we're only just getting started with this new feature. Stay tuned over the coming months, and we'll continue to build out the Buzz with even more content and partners to come. Continuing with the Roku home screen menu, in the spring, we launched What to Watch to help users discover content from a variety of streaming channels on the Roku home screen menu. What to Watch provides easy access to a personalized selection of new titles that were recently added, recommendations for users based on popular and trending content, and so much more. This fall, we introduced two new features that are rolling out: the Roku Save List and Continue Watching. Over the last year, the Save List was integrated into our mobile app and the Roku channel. Now, we're expanding that feature to allow users to have the ability to save content across all the channels right on their Roku TV or player. The platform-wide Save List provides users a centralized place where they can find the content they want to watch or rewatch with ease. Users can save movies and TV shows that they love or are looking forward to watching through Roku Search or from the Buzz, and to do so either from their TVs or when they're on the go using the Roku mobile app. Do you have a list on your phone with all the shows you need to watch, or have you ever been out with a friend who's got a million show recommendations that you know you're going to forget? Well, now users can simply search, click, and save. Once they've pressed the Save button, all the saved titles will be added to their Save List and easily accessible right on their TV or phone, just waiting to press play. We will also be expanding the Save List platform to Canada, the UK, and Ireland. In those countries, we'll add the Save List as a new item in the Roku home screen menu. In addition to the new Save List row, we're also excited to launch Continue Watching. With the launch of Continue Watching, users can now jump back in to the movie or TV show that they were watching earlier in the week, right in the channels that you run. I bet we've all been in that situation where we can't remember which channel we used to stream that show, and we just want to keep watching it. Continue Watching allows users to resume watching the content from specific channel partners across our platform, including Netflix, HBO Max, Paramount Plus, and the Roku channel, with more to come, and hopefully including your content as well. Once Continue Watching is live, users can scroll down to What to Watch to access it. When a user selects a movie, TV show, or episode within that row they have already been watching, the content will launch directly into playback from that particular channel. For users with multiple Roku devices linked to their account, Continue Watching resumes playback at the bookmark position on any of their devices. With Continue Watching, we are empowering users to stream with both the speed and convenience by creating a single location for them to pick up where they left off or browse for new content. We look forward to expanding this row's capabilities and adding new partner channels in the coming months, hopefully including yours. Finally, many of us love to root for our favorite team with friends and family, but keeping track of where to watch the game has only gotten more complicated. 61% of people have expressed that they want to watch their sports from a centralized place. Knowing sports is such a vital part of the streaming experience, it should be simple. So in the coming months, we are integrating new discovery options across the Roku platform and working to create a centralized location for sports, making streaming sports more accessible for all. Our focus on the sports experience will give fans fast, simple access to live, upcoming, replays, and other sports-related content. Elements of this experience are already live in text search and voice search, which surface the games you can watch and take you to a details page with ways to watch. It's here we'd love to partner with each of you that has sports content. All this is to make sure our users are up and streaming for that kickoff, tip-off, or first pitch they can't wait to watch. So stay tuned and keep an eye out in the coming months. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Amanda Woodgo, and I'm a partner manager at Roku. I'm here to talk to you about Roku Search. Roku Search helps users find content when they use text or voice to look for names of movies, TV shows, actors, and actresses on device. Most importantly, it is an opportunity to convert searches into subscriptions and rentals, drive users to your channel, and increase engagement. Roku Search Feed 2.0 is a single JSON-based feed with multi-region and multi-language capabilities. Availability windows allow you to preload a feed with titles that will appear in search on device according to your schedule. Via the JSON-based feed, we now accept media types series, season, episode, movie, and short form, expanding your content's reach on the platform. Participating in Roku Search sets your channel up for content discovery and allows access to search-based discovery tools like visual search results, Roku Zones, and the all-new Save List. Save List is a new on-device feature included in Roku OS 11.5 that allows users to search for and add a title to their personalized Save List row in the What to Watch screen. In addition to this new feature, another search enhancement is coming for channel developers. Today, search feeds are submitted via Validator tool in the developer dashboard, and then Roku Partner Success emails the developer to request several assets to be used for testing. Soon, all assets will be requested in the developer dashboard, easing the friction in the search feed submission process. When this new feature rolls out, you will also see a list of your existing search feeds and search feed submissions by a channel with links to check the health status and feed errors updated several times daily. For more details and a Q&A on Roku Search, please join our panel tomorrow. As always, if you have any questions about Roku Search, please contact Partner Success at roku.com for more information.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeff Dunn, and I'm a senior software engineer on the firmware development team. As a companion to Roku OS 11.5, we're happy to announce the Roku Resource Monitor. The Roku Resource Monitor is a standalone application run on a workstation that allows you to monitor various performance metrics of your channel in real time over the entire runtime of the channel. Monitoring those metrics makes it easier to find and diagnose performance problems your channel might have, and finding problems as early as possible can make them easier to address, with the goal of helping you provide the best possible experience for your viewers. In order to use the Roku Resource Monitor, you just need to enable the Run as Process flag in your channel's manifest. Once you've done that and your Roku device is in channel developer mode, simply download and run the tool. The Roku Resource Monitor runs on an OS X, Windows, or Linux workstation. We think you'll find it easy and intuitive to use. Once you launch the Resource Monitor, you'll have the ability to select a Roku device on your network to be monitored. Of course, you can also enter an IP address directly and mark your favorite devices for easy selection. Once you select a device, you will be shown the list of channels installed on that device that can be monitored. Of course, a channel developer can monitor the side-loaded channel. Additionally, a channel from the channel store can be monitored if the device is keyed with a developer ID and the channel is signed with that same key. Once you select a channel to monitor, a session can be started. The session can be started prior to launching the channel or while the channel is running. As soon as the session is started, data recording begins. Of course, all values will be 0 for the metrics until the channel is launched. The panels in Roku Resource Monitor can be repositioned to prioritize the data that you're interested in. With the Resource Monitor, you can monitor several performance metrics, including the system memory used by the channel. Using the resource monitor, it is easy to see two common problems that can have a significant impact on channel performance and stability: excessive system memory use and system memory leaks. Excessive memory use appears as a relatively flat but high line on the system memory usage graph. A memory leak can often be seen during a long monitoring session where the system memory use graph continually ticks higher and never goes back down. Excessive memory use can cause performance problems and negatively impact the user's experience. In fact, if memory use gets too high, the channel may be killed by Roku OS. One of the things we recommend is it can often be very helpful to run your channel for several hours while streaming or while performing other tests. Doing that can often find problems before they become apparent to your viewers. It's also helpful that panels in Roku Resource Monitor can be customized to view the data that you're most interested in. CPU usage by the channel is also monitored. If some operations in your channel run more slowly than you might like, it can be helpful to monitor the channel CPU usage to determine if the problem might be related to CPU usage, as opposed to network latency or other issues. If Roku Resource Monitor shows that it is likely your channel is having performance issues related to system memory or CPU usage, sometimes that is enough information to find and solve the problem. However, if the cause is not immediately obvious, the BrightScript profiler can be used to collect much more detailed data about the CPU and memory usage of the channel. The Roku Resource Monitor and the BrightScript profiler are complementary tools. Another important performance metric is a channel's use of scene graph nodes. Each scene graph node consumes system memory and potentially other resources such as graphics memory. Because of that, a channel developer must be careful to drop references to nodes that are no longer in use. Much like system memory, if the number of nodes appears high or continually ticks up, that can cause significant performance issues that can impact the user experience. So Roku Resource Monitor displays the number of nodes in use by the channel. But if more detail is needed about the specific nodes in use by the channel, the external control protocol command query/sgnode/all can be used to retrieve that information. We'll touch on that again briefly in a bit. The monitor also monitors the amount of graphics memory used by a channel. The memory related to graphics is broken into system memory and texture memory. If a channel shows significant system memory usage related to graphics, that could mean the graphics files are referenced but not used. And often a developer might want more information about the specific graphics textures in use by the channel. That data can be retrieved by the ECP command query/r2d2 bitmaps. We'll touch again on that briefly in a bit. Another great feature of Roku Resource Monitor is that a session can be saved and viewed later. 5 sessions for each channel are saved automatically and can be loaded from the history within the Roku Resource Monitor. Completed sessions can also be saved to a file for longer storage, or the session file can be shared with another person. This is very useful for one developer, but can be incredibly helpful for sharing data between groups. One person may see a problem and send the data to someone else for diagnosis, who can then load the data into Roku Resource Monitor to view it. All of the data visualized by Roku Resource Monitor can also be retrieved directly from the device. A channel developer can access that data via the external control protocol, which, as many of you know, is often abbreviated ECP, which is how I will refer to it going forward. As with other ECP commands, the data is returned as XML via HTTP request to the developer-enabled device. The data can be queried on demand with a web browser. It can also be automated for integration into your own tools. Also, some of the ECP commands have additional options to return data not displayed in Roku Resource Monitor that can be very helpful in diagnosing performance issues that a channel might have. Some of the commands available via ECP are query/sgnode/all, which provides more detail about all of the nodes, the scene graph nodes in use by a channel. Query/chanperf provides information about channel memory and CPU usage. Query/r2d2 bitmaps, which provides more detail about the graphics textures used by your channel. And query/sg rendezvous, which provides metrics about scene graph node rendezvous. That information is not displayed in the Resource Monitor. If you would like more information about the Roku Resource Monitor or its underlying ECP commands, please attend the Developer Tools panel tomorrow. We hope to see you there.
Hello, my name is Jason Korosek, and I lead the Payments, Commerce, and Customer Care team at Roku. First, Roku Pay. Our commerce and payments and care offerings are all designed to enable you, the developer, and our content partners to reach and sell to Roku consumers more effectively than they could without Roku Pay. Roku drives more subscriptions to developers and content partners because we focus on the on-device experience. That is, you can use a Roku remote to make your purchases of content. And we did that because we've learned that streamers who are watching TV, they just don't want to leave the couch to make a purchase. Streamers just want to watch TV when and where they want to watch. And of course, as I just said, Roku streamers can use that remote to make a purchase. In addition to driving more streamers to your content, the team also focuses on post-purchase retention. And that is, we work to save the subscriptions that you worked so hard to sell. In a recent controlled A/B test with a leading MVPD, Roku Pay provided better results against other subscription processes. Roku Pay won in 3 categories: higher conversions from trial to pay, highest first-time payment, and higher retention after 9 months. Ultimately, what does that mean for you? It means that as a developer, you're likely to convert and retain more consumers when you're using the Roku Pay APIs for subscriptions. Beyond our data scientists and testing, Roku has introduced a few very important features to improve conversion for you. In terms of fintech, Roku regularly A/B tests fintech methods and payment wallets. Based on these tests this year, we added Apple Pay as a new payment method to the Roku system. So now streamers can use Apple Pay to purchase subscriptions and other content through Roku. What does that mean for you? You don't have to do anything. Now your consumers can use Apple Pay to subscribe. Now we added the Apple Pay experience both to Roku.com and also to the Roku device itself. So when the consumer is on the TV, on that couch, they can use a QR code and pay with Apple Pay. Now, while Roku accepted PayPal already, we also extended PayPal, another fintech method, to an on-device experience so that consumers can select PayPal using a QR code right on the Roku TV or player. As far as our product catalog goes, we've also offered quarterly billing, a new billing option for you. Currently, you have monthly and annual billing plans, and now you can also offer quarterly billing. And this just provides another option for you to sell to your content to your consumers. Now, the next big one is retention. Retention has many aspects to it. First, the cancellation experience. Roku has tested and implemented a new cancellation experience. And in these tests, our new cancellation experience reduces active cancellations, which means you'll save more of your consumers. And we continue to survey consumers when they press that cancel button to learn more about what's driving their decision. Based on that knowledge, we foresee other future improvements. Perhaps most valuable, but yet most invisible, is our new subscription recovery service. In the billing and payments industry, there are many, many reasons a payment can fail. And ultimately, a payment failure erodes your subscription base. We call these passive cancellations. Historically, Roku tried these payments for 3 days after a payment failure. We would just try again. And then the year before, we extended that to 11 days. And what we've learned is the longer we tried, the more recoveries we made. But based on new technology and a deeper understanding of why payments fail, Roku also introduced this new subscription recovery service. We now extend retries for up to 60 days using sophisticated retry rules, as opposed to just rote retrying every single day. We change the content of the payment message, we change the time that we submit the payment, we change the day of the week we submit the payment to maximize the approval rate. and maximize the subscriptions that we recover for you. And that is because we've learned that under certain conditions, and with these types of changes, a payment retry can be successful months after the initial payment failure. In the future, Roku will continue to optimize this retry logic to save as many subscriptions as possible. And if you're wondering, Roku service is fully compliant with the new card payment rules on hard declines. You can learn more about these services and any of the changes that I've discussed so far in the Roku Pay breakout session later today, directly from our engineers and product managers. Again, my name is Jason Karosik. Thank you so much for using Roku Pay.
Hello, my name is Scott Pierce, and I lead our ad traffic quality team at Roku. I'm excited to talk to you today about Roku's advertising watermark. We developed the watermark to combat device spoofing. Device spoofing is a type of ad fraud where a bad actor misrepresents the device type or user agent in ad requests and measurement beacons. Last year, two of our partners, Human and DoubleVerify, identified device spoofing schemes involving mobile apps and cloud-based servers generating fake CTV impressions claiming to be from Roku, Google, Amazon, and Apple devices. Device spoofing harms advertisers and publishers. Advertisers are not reaching real people, and publishers are not capturing spend that is rightfully theirs. This is why we launched the Roku Advertising Watermark earlier this year, to protect advertisers and publishers. So what is the Roku Advertising Watermark? You may think of the watermark as a seal or stamp of authenticity, like the hologram stickers they put on merchandise to let you know it isn't counterfeit. Technically, the watermark is a cryptographically signed web token that is passed in the HTTP header of ad requests and measurement beacons that originate from Roku devices. The watermark is generated and applied automatically client-side when Roku Ad Framework or RAF API calls are used for ad requests and measurement beacons. Recipients of ad requests and measurement beacons may validate the watermark to confirm they are from genuine Roku devices. Now, who supports the Roku Advertising Watermark? Here are some of the leading buying, selling, and invalid traffic platforms supporting the Roku Advertising Watermark today. We are working with these partners to identify sources of non-watermarked impressions and remove them from the supply chain. So what do publishers need to do to support the watermark? Supporting the watermark is easy. Publishers simply need to fire measurement beacons client-side via RAF. If you are currently firing beacons server-side via an SSCI server or wrapping beacons with your own pixel, we can provide you with instructions on how to fire the beacons client-side. Please note that as of October 1st, all ad-supported apps are required to fire beacons client-side via RAF. For more information on how the watermark benefits publishers and what publishers need to do to support the watermark, please see our Roku developer documentation. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them during our video ads panel tomorrow. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Lee, and I'm on the Partner Success team here at Roku. Today, I'll be sharing the latest changes to our certification requirements. To coincide with Roku's OS release schedule every spring and fall, Roku also updates channel certification criteria. As of October 1st, 6 new certification requirements have gone into effect. First, all audience measurement beacons must be fired client-side via the Roku Ad Framework, also known as RAF. Doing this is important because it automatically applies the Roku Advertising Watermark to the measurement beacons. This helps verify the measurement beacons came from authentic Roku devices. Second, channels must use the Roku-generated device user agent in all server-side ad requests. Third, voice-enabled keyboards must be used for entering passwords. And the last are all related to Roku Pay. The first requirement is channel names must clearly identify the company and may not contain profanity or the word Roku. This also applies to in-channel products. In-channel product names must clearly relate to the service and may not contain profanity, the word Roku, or text related to trial or discount offers. Lastly, a 30-day notice to existing users is required for price changes on SVOD channels. Looking ahead to April 1st, 2023, we have 2 more new requirements: continue watching and subscription on hold. Channels in the United States that have streamed more than an average of 5 million hours per month over the past 3 months must support continue watching. And Roku Pay channels that have streamed more than an average of 5 million hours per month over the last 3 months must support subscription on hold. For more information on these certification updates, check out the Roku Developer blog.